really quickly. Boom, 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 boom. Oops, did I not say done? Darn it. Alrighty. Hi guys, welcome back. I just want to say that I cannot believe the amount of just love and comments and just all around just people reaching out and saying they've been loving my videos. It has been truly just amazing to see everybody comment, give honestly like their own opinions and their own thoughts on each and every single one of the videos I put out. So truthfully, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I've been loving it so much. I did see somebody comment and say that there is a humming sound. Unfortunately, there's a server right next to me. There's nothing I can do about that. They did suggest for me to do like background music, so I am all for that. If anybody has any suggestions of like copyright free background music that I should include in the background, just let me know and I would be happy to add that in. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Other than that, I now have Adam on here and I have been loving all the Adam McIntyre commentary. But before we get to him and his video about Dent, I first want to go through the video that Paige posted recently about the whole Spence situation. She finally responded to the apology that the Spence had made, and I've already watched this video. I think that it is a really great video. As always, she always is able to articulate herself very well. And yeah, without further ado, let's see what she has to say. Let me see. Sorry, guys.
After I was able to advocate for myself, I have to say, just to be clear, I am completely and totally overwhelmed by the
I love her. I love her intro. So cute.
How are we all doing? We good? Okay, with that being said, the final story of tonight, guys, which is going to be the Spence video. Obviously, the Spence made a video apologizing to me. Now, originally, there was a screenshot. I'm going to put it up on the screen for the people on YouTube, but there's a screenshot of the original video. Once the backlash started happening after I was able to advocate for myself, I have to say, just to be clear, I am completely and totally overwhelmed by the amount of support that I've had. Shit, bitch, I didn't even think I had that amount of support when Jackie Anna accused me of stealing money out of a fucking bank account. Truly. Because when I was able to adequately advocate for myself in that situation and see the tides change, I didn't even think I received that amount of support then. This is the most amount of support that I've ever experienced on social media, and it means so much to me.
And I'm gonna say it. She actually commented on one of my lives when I was covering her previous video, and I truly just, she is so nice. Again, I will always say she's so empathetic, and it hurt to see her really just be hurting like that. And yeah, I know that she mentioned that she's going through, a grieving period with her brother recently passing, and that regardless of that, I know she said that that shouldn't be a factor. But truthfully, like, I know it has to, be hard to have to be dealing with that. And then all of this that just kind of just happened to happen out of nowhere. So that really sucks, truthfully.
Because I'm aware that I have a primarily white audience, I just didn't think that you guys would get it. I misunderstood. That's my bad. I'm sorry. You guys are more than capable of understanding these kinds of nuances. You guys are more than capable of understanding what microaggressions are. You guys are more than capable of advocating and being great allies. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Great allies. And I didn't think I had that. And this was a huge slap in the face in a good way, like wake up, bitch. But this was a huge slap in the face to see that, like, actually, yeah, I do have a really fucking supportive audience. And people fuck with me the long way. And people don't ever want to see me like that. I feel like there's a part of me that had grown to accept that this is how I get treated. But I wanted to speak up for myself just in this one instance. Because I felt like even if you couldn't understand, racism and all of those, intersectional feminism and all this, even if you couldn't understand that concept, the basic concept you didn't listen to my video, you can't qualify what I say, everybody can understand. That much, everybody can understand. But to not only understand the basics of that yeah, that was a wrong thing and a hypocritical thing for this creator to do, but to understand how deep that runs and how connected that is to my personal identity is crazy. So I just want to say before I even begin anything that I'm just so grateful, so incredibly grateful. I'm at the point where I can't even get to message every single person back. I've lost count, I don't know where I'm at now. I have to go back and I will eventually get to everybody and say my thank yous and stuff, but I'm losing myself in the source of how many people are coming forward to send me support. People just feeling compelled to message me directly and say, hey Paige, I'm a subscriber, I've been watching you for a while and I just want to I'm in your corner. I wasn't expecting it, and I just want to say thank you before I even begin saying anything. However, on that original video when the tides were turning and people had seen that actually.
And honestly, that makes me sad that she didn't think she was going to receive this much support. Like, I think that says a lot of how she clearly doesn't understand her audience, and how much, we rally against her, because truthfully, like, yes, this was a horrible situation for her, but Paige Christie is so genuine, and not only that, but whenever she covers something, she truly dissects both sides and tries to stay neutral to really give you a more nuanced perspective and kind of plays devil's advocate at times. So I think she's a great commentator, and she really deserves a lot more.
Spence was a bit of a dick, let's just call it that. They left a comment that basically doubled down. It doesn't matter whether I watched it or not, kind of vibes. I'm paraphrasing because I can't be asked to find a screenshot. I'll post it on screen for the people on YouTube. I don't care, because at the end of the day, what she said was harmful, and what she did caused harm, because she still couldn't, sorry, they still couldn't qualify that I had actually said anything that would qualify, the idea that I was disgusted, scared, or, viewing Jen as if she was enraged in some capacity. But they apparently said that I caused harm. And I don't believe that I caused harm in any capacity. And that's where I'm at. But that was not received very well. Then that post was completely taken off the video altogether. Then I ended up getting a notification from a subscriber telling me that Spence had made an apology video. Now, the video was originally titled An Apology for My Racism, and then it got retitled again to Just an Apology. Somebody has screen recorded. I do have a copy myself. I downloaded it immediately, as I would for any video that I plan on making. But with this one, I was absolutely flabbergasted. I think I left a comment on the original video. I was like, wow, this makes me feel great. Amazing. This is the best day of my fucking life. I was just a way to just completely center, yourselves. And when I'm talking about yourself, Spence and Jen, yourselves, like crazy. What I will say though is that Jen did apologize, like I requested. I was gonna say there's a few people who are confused as to why.
Hold on, let's go ahead and actually read that really quickly. I don't think I've read this before. So she said, you wouldn't have apologized if I didn't have the audience I have. Great, fabulous. I feel amazing. This is the best day of my life. Here, damn. Apology. I'm sorry, but apology. The crazy thing is, don't want an apology from anyone, just removal of the weird about me in the YouTube live video editing software, and Jen making a post disavowing your targeted racial comments, only because she was pretty vocal about supporting your video, from posting to leaving a comment thanking you. 15 minutes at best, like you said, crazy work. I couldn't imagine being black either. No platform, I'm privileged, I got this clearly. That's actually insane. Okay, that's where that came from. I did not realize that that's where she mentioned that Jen should also, or that they should disavow Jen's comments, or I'm so sorry. And Jen making a post disavowing your targeted racial comments. Yes. Because Paige ends up talking about this as well, and I didn't realize the first time around that I watched this, that this is what she was referencing.
And Jen, yourselves, like crazy. What I will say though is that Jen did apologize, like I requested. I was gonna say there's a few people who were confused as to why I was requesting that Jen apologize. Let me just make it clear. There was one person I remember distinctly asking me, like, well, not asking me, like saying that like they don't believe that like Jen should have to apologize, and I had to explain to them why. And I'm not saying that Jen needed to apologize, because that's not what I was expecting from Jen. I just wanted Jen to disavow those words, right? It could be a potential because I was slipped in right at the end where nobody could.
Which, to be honest, mind you, again, I'm gonna say this again. During this entire time, we are already aware that Jen has been making some weird comments against the Muckers, against Alyssa. Truthfully, just absolutely horrible things. Ableist comments, victim blaming comments towards Adam McIntyre. So, I mean,
freaking notice. It could be a situation where Jen might have just thought to watch the video and not got all the way to the end. For I've heard pretty much the majority of this video clicked out. I imagine most people who watch the video probably did something of that nature. So maybe people didn't see what happened, right? I saw it. That's why it's important, because it's important to me. But I wanted Jen to disavow it, because if Jen could go out of her way, right, to basically say that Adam should apologize, and he should apologize quickly, and he isn't getting to it. VidCon is not important, and all of this kind of stuff, and be upset with Adam McIntyre for not being as prompt to address the situation straight away, then I want you to be a woman about your words. Are you going to address this straight away, right? Something bad happened that Adam may have been a perpetrator of. You wanted him to address it straight away. So you better be that woman who addresses this straight away. That's what that was about, right? It wasn't because I cared to have an apology. It wasn't because I need her to go on a platform and make an apology video, grace sweater hoodie the whole night. I don't need her to do any of that. I wanted to make sure that she was really about the things it is that she keeps saying, which, as we know from the document that went around, is clearly not the case. Jen did come onto Twitter and apologize, and I basically said it's squashed. Somebody on Twitter got in their feelings and was like, oh, so you don't care about all the other things it is that she said, all the ableist comments. No, I'm saying that I'm not going to continue with this. I don't know if anybody missed the concept of my fucking video, but the meat and potatoes has nothing to do with any of us. Let me make this clear. I'm gonna lose my motherfucking mind. The meat and potatoes of what is going on has nothing to do with Adam McIntyre, has nothing to do with Alyssa, has nothing to do with myself, has nothing to do with Spence, it has nothing to do with any of us. I'm not going to continue unnecessary discourse that has nothing to do with the actual substance of what needs to be discussed. The conversation needed to open up around that. We are glad that Jen had her moment. But in turn, it doesn't mean just because I want to squash this, because I don't want to continue a back and forth over somebody else's words, by the way, not something that Jen herself came out and said. I'm not going to continue that. It doesn't mean I support her. It doesn't even mean that I give her, like, I even accepted her apology. I didn't even accept it. I didn't say, I accept your apology, girlie. I accept your apology. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I said it's squashed. It's squashed. We're done. All the best. That was it. But for some reason, some people online, y'all lack critical thinking skills. I am not the center of this discussion. I am not the center of this argument. So anyway, Jen replied saying that she really appreciates it. Call that squash. I have nothing to say to Jen. Will we ever be friends? No. Will I ever talk to her? Probably not. Right? So that's where I'm at with Jen. I have no horse in that race. However, when it comes to the Spence made their video and deleted it after changing the title, and then eventually just deleted their entire fucking channel. So, and they did say that they were going to be reaching out and giving me a personal apology. They did. I'd like to read that to you.
If you're here, I'm going to assume that you know what this video is about. If you don't know what this video is about, I will do my best to give context as I go. The day before yesterday, I uploaded a video about somebody named Dent, who was a victim of a situation that I feel very strongly about. At the end of that video, I offered criticism to two commentary channels, namely Adam McIntyre and Paige Christie. The criticism that I offered to Paige Christie is around the fact that I felt that she contributed to Jen.
Going back to that point, Paige is absolutely in her right to say if, okay, like, this is it, like, I don't need you to continue apologizing. She's in her right to accept an apology, not accept an apology, say, okay, I'm ready to move on. This is all I'm gonna say about it. Like, this happened to her. Like, this is, again, like, her situation. I've said this before, two things can be true at the same time. Just because she's ready to move on from this specific situation does not mean that what Jen is doing and the ableist comments that she is portraying and all the other horrible stuff that she is saying online, that doesn't make that okay. And that doesn't mean that Paige is endorsing that either. They're just talking about that specific situation where Jen or Paige is moving on from Jen apologizing and saying that she disavows these actions. And that is it.
Jen's victimization through the fact that she made a video framing Jen as a hysterical, angry woman.
Objection. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. The thing that you just said didn't happen. Factually incorrect. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Didn't pay Jen out to be anything. Didn't even give her any like lack of empathy. I was very empathetic. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. First strike.
She was extremely empathetic. Truthfully, I said this in my original video, but I am very empathetic as well. I honestly, I actually got emotional on that video, and what Paige Christie ended up commenting on my video was that she thanked me for my empathy as well. So I will say I'm an empathetic girly too. And I honestly thought Paige was too nice during that entire video. She was still saying that she was okay with the rest of the video that Spence made, except the last portion where they started talking about Adam McIntyre and then, of course, what they said about Paige Christie. She was still, like, actively being so nice about it, and that is just commendable. Commendable, to be honest.
Didn't happen.
And perpetuating that narrative and further victimizing her in that way. In my video, I react to the thumbnail and I react to the first 10 seconds of the video. And I say that I did not watch the rest of the video.
Because you're an idiot.
That was the case at the time that I filmed the video. However, in between when I filmed the video and when I published the video, I did watch Paige's entire video. And
Probably should have done that before speaking.
that was specifically because I wanted to see if I wanted to leave that section in or not.
Bullshit. Never happened. I'm going to say, this is my personal perspective. Never happened. Never happened. You weren't debating on whether to keep that part of the video. Never happened. Objection.
And as far as further victimizing Jen goes, the video was bad. It was. Yes, it offered some critique to Adam, but she also offers critique to Jen about those very things that I...
Because no one's above criticism. Literally, no one's above criticism. I have criticism for everyone. No one is above criticism. We have to get out of this mindset that there is only one victim and there is only one villain. Sometimes the villain can be the victim at the same time. I just watched Jen have a vindication and I was like, wow, finally. I even said it in my video, finally. She finally gets her validation. That none of this happened, that this was all made up bullshit. That one of the worst things that another person could say about another person being a pedophile, for goodness sakes, right? She's been able to absolve herself from those lies that was told about her. Amazing. Jen also has been saying some ableist shit online, girl. Like, at this point, and no one's above criticism. Nobody at all. If anything, I wish I criticized more. I actually wish I'd scrutinized that a little bit more.
Criticized Paige for perpetuating. And in line with what Paige was perpetuating, her comment section was filled with people calling Jen aggressive, calling her cringe, calling her a bully, calling her a harasser, saying that she's doing too much. Paige was perpetuating that with her video. So I considered refilming that section, truthfully, with even more criticism than I gave in that section.
Like what?
Exactly. They didn't even watch Paige's video, and the only criticism that they were giving Paige was her facial expression. So what more?
Realistically, the criticism is I didn't go hard enough for your liking on Adam McIntyre, and I had mild criticism for Jen. Mild criticism. And even in the criticism, I was still empathetic to her situation. This is what I mean when I talk about the fact that, like, there's a certain standard for everybody else, but it's just completely ignored when it comes to me. Like, I have to hold a huge moral obligation to everybody else in a different way to everybody else. It drives me insane.
Because I had even more to say now that I had watched Paige's video. But I really felt that those first 10 seconds were enough. I felt that they did enough damage to communicate that that was a shitty...
10 seconds is not enough. And also, you never are showing those 10 seconds that they're talking about. And even further, they're not showing the entire context about that entire 10 seconds and what it was about. Paige was just confused. That's why she made a facial expression. That is what you do whenever you're expressing yourself. Or random facial expressions. I make random facial expressions, and I'm going to say that every single time because I truly do. And they sometimes mean nothing but me just making a weird expression at a weird time for no reason. That is who I am, and that's all it is. We're entitled to make facial expressions. We're entitled to just for you to hear us out, truthfully. Like, why are we taking Paige's voice out of this? She was commentating on a video, and she has a right to actually make a facial expression. So maybe play and show the entire context of what you're talking about and actually provide real examples for this criticism that you're talking about, if that makes sense.
Shitty thing to do to Jen, to a victim. I don't regret offering that criticism. I really don't. Seeing the damage that it did, Jen, seeing her reaction to it, it hurt me and it upset me. I was angry about it. I did fuck up though. Was in a section of my video where I tell Paige Christie, you should have known better. In fact, I think I say, you of all people should have known better. That's the phrasing that I use. I want to first explain what I meant when I said that, but that's not me excusing the fact that I said it. So I had been a fan of Paige Christie's for a very, very long time. I was there back when her controversy.
Oh my god, here we go. They're going to mention the controversy between myself and Jackie Aina, right? I have to show you how, again, fucking objectively false this is. Oh my god, okay, you ready? You ready? Because I'm gonna wow you in a moment.
With Jackie Aina happened, where Jackie Aina accused her of hacking her bank account. Anyway, at the time, a lot of fans
I want one of those things. That looks so fun.
of Jackie Aina's were weaponizing the fact that Paige was angry, the fact that she was agitated about the situation because of course she was getting.
Never happened. Never happened. Jackie Aina is also a black woman. Why on earth would the angry black woman stereotype be imposed upon me from another black woman? It doesn't make any sense. And it never happened. It never happened. People called me a snake. People called me a lying bitch. And snake emojis all over my social media. I got dragged from here to Timbuktu. Nobody at all was sitting there calling me angry. Even if I was angry, but I wasn't. So let me show you, right, my response to the Jackie Aina thing. Hold on. Those are the snake emojis I got, right? Okay, this is what's been happening, right? I want you to explain to me in what capacity this looks angry or aggressive. And if this doesn't show you the preconceived notion and honestly irresponsible racism and misogynoir rhetoric here, right, then I don't know what will. I was not even angry. I wanted to clear my name.
That I stole $1,500 from her banking, checking, who knows. I'm about to tell you my side of the story, my situation, but also I'm going to be bringing
Can I just say, remember cold shoulder shirts that they love, like the plus size brands love putting fat people on? Everything it is that I had was cold shoulder. I hate that time.
I'm going to be talking about certain kind of coincidences that have taken place.
Oh, and if you're wondering why my voice sounds higher pitched, back then, this is how deeply the racism root runs with me on this YouTube app. Back then, I used to pitch my voice a lot higher and speak like this so that I wouldn't intimidate people. Because being a black woman with a voice was really difficult. And being a black woman with a voice that could be misconstrued as aggressive meant that for the first half of my YouTube career, I pitched my voice up. I would finish videos not really being able to speak properly and being extremely croaky because I was speaking in this tone, at this octave, the entire time when I talk like this. My voice is low. I have a low voice for a girl. Like, this is the shit that I'm having to deal with. But no, let's get to how aggressive I was.
That I think do need to be noted. And in fact, I actually don't blame Jackie Aina. So if you want to find out what the hell I'm talking about, find out after this intro. So basically today, which in the UK would be the 11th application to the situation, I thought I would give you a little bit of a timeline so that you guys can see what exactly happened and what...
Is this even aggressive to anyone? Now tell me, put a 1 in the chat if this sounds aggressive. Put a 2 in the chat if this sounds not aggressive even in the slightest. Okay, let's continue.
...has to abide by. In the UK, we are severely cracking down on these kind of privacy issues and actually accompany a whole...
I'm literally explaining the phishing scam that might have happened to Jackie Aina that made her think that I stole money from her, but I have no access to those things. And I even said I'm not even angry with her because I understand why she would be concerned, but she pointed the wrong finger. Literally.
And speaking of defamation, I'm going to leave over here some information in regards to defamation and what that means in BBC, and I'll read that out to you. Dispatcher, and I'm fucking good at what yes, he does a little bit of web development, but he's literally... But not only that, because of the company... Accusations destroy lives if they are to be believed, and livelihoods. But if these accusations were true, we are talking criminal charges, I would be arrested, and I would be put in jail, and...
At what point did any of us, through the altercation with myself and Jackie Aina, get that I was aggressive or may have been perceived to have been aggressive, or that anybody even called me an angry black woman? Factually, fucking incorrect. None of these things happened. None of them. You're just making shit up. One black woman argues with another black woman and we're throwing around racial slurs to each other? No, it just doesn't make sense. Just doesn't make sense.
That I criticized Paige for perpetuating. And in line with what Paige was perpetuating, her comment section was filled with people calling Jen aggressive, calling her cringe, calling her a bully, calling her a harasser.
Honestly, realistically, I do not check the comments after 2 days. So usually when a video is up after the first 2 days, I stop checking the comments because I've probably moved on to creating another video and I stop checking the comments. The comment section could literally say anything. I do have moderators and they, try their best to get rid of anything that like seems like a violation. But for the most part, like there's literally nothing I can do about this. Like nothing. Like people are gonna make their own decisions. If somebody wants to say that, that's fine. But at the end of the day, I'm not the person who perpetuated that. I never in any capacity made Jen out to be angry or aggressive or perpetuated that notion in the first place.
Saying that she's doing too much. Paige was perpetuating that with her video, so I considered refilming that section, truthfully with even more criticism than I gave in that section, because I had even more to say now that I had you of all people should have known better. That being accused of things that she would never do. Of course, her reaction to that was very agitated, and people very heavily weaponized that against her.
I still can't believe they said, truthfully with more criticism. Excuse me, is this supposed to be an apology video? It's just absurd. Absurd.
And I was
You know what's the worst thing? When that whole Jackie Aina situation actually took place, people were like, Paige, Jackie Aina's speaking about you in her most recent video, girl. And I was sitting there and I was just thinking, no, she's not. Like, yeah, it was you. They said that somebody had stolen money from her bank account and she was saying it was you. I was like, I think you've got me, literally, I remember, I think it's somewhere in one of my videos, I was like, guys, I think you've got me misconstrued with somebody else. Because at the time I was working, I had like a regular 9 to 5, right? I was working my job. So I couldn't get away from my desk because I worked as an ambulance dispatcher. I couldn't get away from my desk to even see what people were tagging me over because I had no idea. So when people were saying, Paige, Jackie Aina's talking about us, I don't think you're right. I think she's talking about someone else. I think you've got me confused with somebody else. That was literally my reaction. No aggression, ever, in any capacity.
was there to defend her when that happened, and I felt so strongly about the fact that she had the right to react to that in whatever fucking way she wanted to.
Oh, thank you, Spence. I don't know why you would have to defend me against that because that literally, quite literally, never fucking happened.
And so when I said you of all people should have known better, and I expressed so much disappointment over it, that was where that came from. It was from the fact that she's experienced what it's like to have your personality weaponized
Maybe they should have done more research.
against you. To have people say, yeah, I guess you're kind of valid, but like also you're really angry and loud, so that annoys me. I'm not.
I've had situations like that take place online with different people for completely different reasons. This categorically never happened with Jackie Aina. I don't like Jackie Aina. I will probably dislike that woman until the day that we both die, right? But I'm not going to accuse Jackie Aina or her fans of doing something that they didn't do. They didn't do that. I was never accused of being an angry woman, and I was never even called out for my aggressive tone in that moment. None of these things, quite literally, never happened.
Gonna listen to what you have to say. That was what I meant when I said you of all people should know better, because this has happened to you. You know what it's like to be discredited for having a very agitated reaction when you're not a white man on the internet, because they get to have really loud, agitated, intense reactions to things, and nobody says anything. Nobody says, oh, he's cringe. Oh, this is hard to watch.
Here's the thing though, I've never had like a agitated reaction to anybody else who wasn't like a fucking sexual predator. Like if you want to see me lose my entire shit and go on a huge tangent and be like, everybody should die. You know what I mean? If you want to see that kind of behavior from me, then it's gonna be something serious. Like none of this internet shit is enough for me to get out of myself. I don't think there's many instances, unless I'm talking about Ethan Klein or some kind of sexual predator on social media, there are very few instances that you even see me come out of myself in any capacity. Like it's such an insane talking point because you're still perpetuating the same narrative that I'm viewed this way, when realistically, especially given the audience's reaction, the only person who's truly viewing me in this way is you and a small minority of fucking people. Nobody sees me like that but you. Why do you see me as aggressive? Even in moments like with the Jackie Aina situation where there was nothing aggressive about the interaction. Why was that your take home throughout the entire situation? Let's unpack that, Spence. Why do you think like that?
Difficult to look at. Like this is what people say about women who have really agitated reactions online. However, and the issue with the way that I express myself is in the fact that black women in particular are often held to a much higher moral standard. Yeah. There's this idea that they should be paragons of morality that the rest of us should expect good behavior from.
Agreed.
And so in saying you, of all people, should have known better, I perpetuated that. And I remember in the moment when I filmed that, feeling like there was something a little bit about the way that I expressed myself there. Like I remember even in the moment being like, I feel like there's something finicky,
But then if we're to go with the narrative it is that you just proposed to us, you, whilst in the editing process, watched my entire video and went, no, you know what? Actually, yeah, that's correct. That's right. That feels correct to me. You're just talking out your like literally. This, shall I tell you what this kind of apology is? It is when somebody's panicking. I think the backlash was heavy. I think that you underestimated the amount of black fans that you have because the amount of black.
And mind you, they didn't take out any portion of the video at first. They were doubling down in their comments first and foremost. And it wasn't until they continued to receive more hate and criticism that they finally removed that portion of the video, but were leaving the rest of the criticism, and then made this apology video.
People who have been subscribed to your Substack, who have been, watching you and enjoying your content throughout the years or whatever. Like, let's not throw some shade at this Spence person, right? Spence, a lot of their videos are hitting like 70,000 views. Like, people really fucked with Spence, and I don't think Spence was aware of how strong their black audience is. I don't think that they were aware. So when black people were like, I agree with Paige, this shifted this whole conversation altogether. I think you were panicking. I think you began to realize not only by your words did you upset Adam and Paige Christie's side of the internet, but you also upset the people who literally built your brand. That's why we're running away from the internet right now. But this is a panic video because none of what you're saying even is true.
thought about it, and I was struggling to verbalize in my mind why I felt a little bit insecure about that phrasing. And because I couldn't explain it to myself, I thought that it was okay. And I moved forward with it, and I thought that people would understand what I meant to say with it. If you're a follower of mine, and I doubt that you are because I have like 3 followers, nobody really watches my videos.
They do.
But if you are, you'll know that I posted a video titled, They Knew It Would Hurt You. And in that video, I talk really heavily about the difference between action and intent. How if you go up to somebody and you said, you did something that hurt me, if the conversation begins and ends with them saying, well, that's not what I meant, then all they've done is defend their reputation. You're not showing any care for you and the ways that they've hurt you.
Is hypocrisy just the currency of which we exchange with Spence? 6 Spence and nothing to show for it. Like, if you made a video with that literal, direct thesis, then why the fuck do you not see the hypocrisy in what's going on right now?
And if you're a victim of microaggressions every single day where people constantly expect you to know better because you're a black woman being held to a higher moral standard, having that really careless phrasing thrown at you is hurtful. It's triggering. And the harm goes far beyond what I meant. The harm is in the way that I said it because, first of all, the way that would trigger a black woman to hear, but secondly in the way that somebody who doesn't know what I meant by it, who is a racist themselves, can see me.
Oh, okay, so now we're going with it sounds like a racist talking point, and the people who really are the racists, they're the ones. Those are the people who are going to be using this, and this is detrimental to black people. See, I'm a good ally because I can recognize that the talking point that people may have taken from my literal fucking words was something that could be used by people who have that point of view. We need to unpack why that's your point of view.
Saying what I said and take it and throw it at Paige in the racist way that it can be interpreted. Now,
I just want to know what kind of interpretation you could have took from that. What is the alternative interpretation? And fuck all that, I was just saying it in this way, I wasn't saying it in that. No, what is the interpretation that you could take from that? The interpretation is, I hold Paige to a different moral standard because she's experienced the angry black woman trope, therefore, Paige should handle other people differently in a preconceived notion of what I believe that she was actually trying to perceive to her audience, which didn't actually take place. No, nothing that we are discussing today at all at this point is based in any logical reality.
In the racist way that it can be.
This is completely, I agree, completely hypocritical. Not only that, but truthfully, this is, again, not an apology video. The more I watch it, the worse it truthfully gets. And the angrier I feel for Paige, because what do you mean you sat through this entire video, named it an apology video, and you were cutting stuff out and you still thought it was okay? Where's the apology? Again, I'm going to say this again. I feel like I've already said it before in my past video, but is the apology in the room with us? Clearly, this shows a lot more about your character, because you weren't able to just own up to it and apologize and truthfully feel empathetic for how Paige was feeling. And instead, you created this video that, for what? What are you trying to say? It's not an apology.
Be interpreted. Now, would I have
I love this one.
apologized like this if I didn't get so much backlash? Truthfully, I don't know.
Well, fuck me. Fuck my drag. What do you fucking mean? Even down to a fundamental human and humanity basis, you wouldn't have done anything about this if I wasn't the person that I was, if I didn't have the following that I have. To, like, literally, like, how do you film and not think about the words that come out of your mouth? There's a difference, like, when you're in a live stream, you say something ad hoc, you're like, oh, let me catch myself. Do you get what I mean? But to edit this and make this a part of the final cut is crazy work. So not only do you not give a fuck about me as an individual, my triggering, my hurt, my pain, the way that I'm perceived, the way that I was misrepresented by you, not only do you not give a crap about that, but had I had not been me and the backlash wasn't so severe, you wouldn't have done shit. What kind of fucking ally does that make you? We're getting to this point on social media where allyship is literally coming full circle back around to racism. Like, I'm such an advocate that I can't possibly be racist even though I'm perpetuating this racist trope. It's just coming full circle. Like, it doesn't make it so frustrating.
I don't know if I would have. And that
Honestly, this video is so frustrating, but to kind of put it into the perspective that Paige is having to sit down and watch this apology video is just, it makes it 10 times worse, because how are you filming this knowing Paige is going to watch it and you're okay with that? Her being the victim in this, by the way.
I'm ashamed to admit that. That's
You should be ashamed. This shouldn't have made the cut.
a bit of a shameful realization for me that I probably wouldn't have. I probably wouldn't have apologized if I didn't get so much backlash, if Paige didn't have the audience that she has. And that's made me reflect a lot on the ways that, you know, I'll see somebody online doing something really racist, and every single time I'll view myself as so separated from those people. Like, I'll judge them for being racist, but it doesn't get me thinking about the ways in which I can still be racist. I view them doing blatantly racist things, getting canceled for it, and I view myself as above them, as above.
And this is why we've got to also be aware of, like, this kind of allyship. When somebody uses their allyship towards a certain demographic or marginalized group as a way to be able to put themselves above other people, like, it's actually like self-serving allyship. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's very much giving the people who want to attend the protest that they can take their photograph on Instagram and post on Instagram that they were at this protest because they really care about stuff. But when it actually comes to really defending these individuals in a real way, in a way that could in turn make you also outcast from society, they don't want to do that. That's too much work. This is that kind of bullshit performative activism. Performative.
And I'm realizing that I'm not. I really am not. You know, every time I watch somebody being racist online, instead of sitting there going, oh, haha, you're racist, I'm not, I should have sat there and gone, I should think about what that means for me. I should think about how I can do better. And I don't do that. I look at people being racist and I view myself as above them.
Me. This entire video, that's all you hear. And I think Paige is actually going to say something about that.
But I don't spend that time thinking about how I can do better. And admittedly, my initial reaction to getting the backlash from Paige was to be defensive. In fact, I edited.
Hey, and this is where, unfortunately, I'm still incredibly angry by the situation, but, like, my nuance comes in, because sometimes when everything's happening all at once and it feels extremely scary, especially if you're a person who wants to fix things and put things, like, make things right, your immediate thought is to just let me fix it, let me put a cap on it, and it's to save yourself without actually truly unpacking what's going on inside, right? And even though I promise you, I do not like Spence, we will never ever be in positive terms ever in any capacity, but what I will say is that I 100% understand the need to put a cap on something, but it is for you. It's not for me. It's not for other black girls who may have heard this, the other black women that you may have offended, the other people of color who have to watch this, even let's just bring out just your audience in general, regardless of what color or creed they are, right? Your audience in general watching this and being somewhat disappointed in you for your actions. So I understand that this was just like, I want to put a cap on it, but you didn't think, like, none of this was not, first of all, this was not even anything close to a real apology, and this was also very me focused. We have focused so much on your feelings, what you were going through, how you felt that I did something, how you felt that I hurt Jen, how you, that you haven't truly considered anything else outside of your own bubble. But that's the only bit of, you know, grace that I'll give. Sometimes it can feel crazy on the internet and you want to just fix it. But sometimes fixing it, unfortunately, I know that Jen won't like to hear this, takes some time. And I've said this a billion times on the internet, but I'm going to say it here again. I would much rather somebody apologize to me in a few months' time and give me a true and honest apology with introspection, and then come back and really give me an apology that means something, because they've taken some time to look at themselves. I'd much rather wait for an apology for months on end than to get the apology that they think that everybody wants to hear. And this feels like maybe not the apology that everybody wants to hear, but an apology to save themselves.
And that's the difference between being genuine and being performative. Clearly, Paige is a genuine person. Spence, however,
pinned comment on my video, and in a very aggressive way, where I say, no, here's what I meant, I stand by it, I don't regret it. And that's what happens when you read it before you think. And where that came from is in, you know, It's sometimes difficult when you had an intent with something and you cause harm in a way that you couldn't have even conceived you would have caused harm. And harm can come unintentionally. We can harm people unintentionally because of preconceived racism that we have in us. Because what racism can look like sometimes is not just, I'm going to maliciously attack you in a racist way. Racism can come in the form of ignorance as well, of not knowing.
No, this wasn't ignorant. This was covert. It's not ignorance. You know what racism is? You're a feminist. You know what misogyny is. You know about intersectionality when it comes to feminism and how it is that primarily white feminists will treat feminists from other demographics. This is why, we have protect the dolls and stuff like that, because it is intersectional. There are certain demographics that even myself as a black woman, I have a privilege in comparison to a trans or gender non-conforming individual within feminism, because the opportunities that I will get will likely be denied to somebody in that position. And these are the structural patriarchal things that we need to literally break down. So it's infuriating to watch you just completely miss the plot, because this isn't ignorant racism, because you're knowledgeable. Spence, you're a smart person. You're a knowledgeable, smart person. You're very articulate. This was not ignorance. This was covert. This was the little voice inside your head that said that wild thing that you didn't deconstruct and pick up on. We're all victims to it. And this is a conversation that's like expands wider, right? We're all victims of it. Sometimes you'll say something in your brain, you maybe don't vocalize it. That little voice that says something that is mad, wildly fucking bigoted. You catch yourself in your own thoughts and be like, wait, hold on, let's unpack that. Where the fuck did that come from? I really need to assess that. But that vocalization that was in the brain was the one that you spoke out loud. So this wasn't ignorance. This is covert. There's overt racism, which is you N-word, fuck you N-words. Why don't you go pick cotton N-words? Go back to Africa N-word. Yeah, that's overt racism. That's in your face. I like overt racism in the sense of I'd much prefer for somebody to be upfront with me about how the fuck they feel. I hate to be in a position where I'm lulled into a false sense that somebody may be understanding of me and not accept me. Covert racism for me is way more harmful than overt. Overt, I can clock you and go, okay, let's see what you're from. I'm not fucking with you. All the best. And go about my motherfucking day. Covert though? Covert is that little space that allows you to think that somebody views you as an equal and you do not get treated as an equal. That is that covert racism. That is the racism that lies within institutions, that institutionalized racism, where you're denied opportunity jobs. So that's that kind of racism. It's the kind of racism that makes you think that builds the rhetoric that women can't drive, that builds the rhetoric that Asian people can't drive, that builds the rhetoric that black people are aggressive and violent and criminals. Those are the tiny little covert racism is by far more damaging to people of color than overt racism. By far. With an overt racist, I know how to deal with you because you show me who you are. This is different. And it is not ignorance because you are a smart individual. You are not dumb. Hence why this dumb situation is beyond me, because what are you doing?
Certain phrases, certain words are harmful and triggering and shitty to say. Not knowing in itself can be racism and is racism. And so in the moment, all I could focus on was what I hadn't intended to do. All I could focus on was the fact that I meant something else. But that doesn't mean that what I said wasn't racist. It doesn't. And I am regretful that I wouldn't have apologized if I didn't get so much backlash. That's something for me to genuinely reflect on. It is a shameful thing to realize. It really is.
I'm sorry for nervous laughter. I know it's not something that to be laughing about. It's just a nervous response. Are you saying that we shouldn't take your expression out of context? We should listen to your words rather than your actions? We should give you that grace. Got it.
Especially because I know that my own audience holds me to a high moral standard. It's hard when you're personally involved with people. I feel for Jen on such a genuinely personal level. And seeing somebody be so shaken, the way that Jen was shaken by Paige's video, and understanding so well how irresponsible that video was, and I stand by the fact that Paige's video was irresponsible. Yeah, she criticizes Adam in it, but she also perpetuates really harmful things.
Still saying irresponsible, even though they didn't watch Paige's video. They just watched her facial expression. How is a facial expression irresponsible? Please, 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 let me know. Let me know.
Things about Jen, and that caused real harm to her.
Name one. I literally made a video where I said, tell me about my words. Name what I did. If somebody had accused me of something that I stood by, you better fucking believe I would come with receipts. They said this at 2 minutes and 32 fucking seconds. At 25 milliseconds, she did this. I would become. Name one. What? Any. So we can have a useful dialogue here. Anything at all. One thing I said.
And it was hard for me to maintain my ethical compass in front of me in the way that I normally do with my other videos, where I edit and re-edit every single thing that I write to make sure that it doesn't cause harm to anybody. And I didn't do that here. I just spoke. And it does say a lot that when I speak without editing, what comes out of my mouth is something racist. It's not funny. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be laughing. Am I afraid of my income being impacted?
And that's mad weird to say. Like, take that out of context. What would you think? It's bad. It's bad. That is a weird thing to say.
Yes, of course I am.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm affecting the bottom line. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm affecting the bottom line. I'm affecting the take home. Yeah. And if that doesn't tell you this was never about me, this was never a racism apology, I don't know what will tell you. First of all, they would never have made an apology had I not had the influence it is that I have. And also, they're worried about their bottom line and the perception of them being a racist despite their actions. See, when people are judging you right now, Spence, they're judging you on your actions. They're judging you on the words that came out of your mouth. They're not judging you for a facial expression. I'm not even judging you for your nervous laughing. I get it. Some people laugh when they're nervous. Guess what I do? I pull faces.
I'm terrified that this is going to destroy my YouTube career before it even started, because...
Do you know why it would? And the only reason it has, to the point that they've now deleted their social media, the reason that it has is for one thing and one thing only. Because you didn't just come out and say, oops, my bad. That's literally all it could have taken. Oops, my bad. You know what? I did say that, and in retrospect, I 100% see how it could be taken. And I never wanted to cause that kind of hurt for Paige. I wouldn't want anybody to feel like that, regardless of who they are. And I dropped the ball. I definitely did, and I have to do some personal learning. I'll do that in my...
And again, you can tell it's blatantly clear in Paige's original video that she was hurt. If you're an empathetic human, there's no way you miss that. And that you wouldn't want to empathize with another human that you hurt. So that's why I'm confused as to, like, what is this? Like, what are we doing?
my own time. I hope that you guys will forgive me, but if you don't, I completely understand because I fucked it. That was a fucked up thing for me to say, and I take it back. And if I could delete the video and never say if I could have not made the video in the first place, I probably wouldn't have, because I dropped the ball and I've let not just myself down, but literally everybody who supported me. And that's a horrible feeling. So I apologize to Paige. That sucks that I did that. And if you don't want to fuck with me or even hear me out in any capacity, I get it. But I fucked it. So sorry. I don't know what else to say, but sorry. Boom. I have no complaints. That's it. Cool. You said a bad thing. You said the inside voice out loud. Okay. Will I fuck with you? Probably not. It hurt my feelings. I'm still fucking angry about it. But at least you handled it appropriately. That's what is destroying the YouTube career now, is that in every capacity you've handled this atrociously.
I'm trying to say that I know that this apology could seem dishonest or not genuine because, of course, there are factors like my income being impacted, my channel YouTube career ending before it even started. Of course, those are factors. Of course they are. That doesn't change the fact that I do know what I did, and I do acknowledge that it was a shady thing to do. And I felt in the moment when I recorded it that there was something weird about the way that I phrased myself, but I didn't trust my gut. I didn't question it, and I should have questioned it because I should have known better.
Irony of saying I should have known better. Well, that was the main.
I think it makes it worse that they could have edited this out, and they chose not to. They're editing stuff out. Might as well, pick that one up. You didn't think that was weird to say? You didn't think that maybe that was time and place?
Gripe you had with me is that I should know better. Fucking irony.
As far as Adam goes, I am not sorry to Adam. I stand by everything that I've said about Adam. His video about Jen was really shitty. His audience is out to get me, and that's okay. I'm not gonna boohoo wah-wah about Adam's audience coming at me because I knew that would happen when I made that video, right? You don't make a video attacking two really major YouTubers. First
of all, never in a million years would I qualify myself within that bracket. That is quite new to me, but thank you, I guess. But what I will say is, why did you say attacking? It just gives me the idea that was literally the objective, to attack. Like, when I'm criticizing, I would say, I would know better than to criticize, two people who don't like criticism. If that was your stance, why attacking? I feel like some Freudian slips are happening now.
With really large fan bases. See, this is why I cut my, God, I can't fucking talk today. This is why I cut my sentences. You'll see in my YouTube videos that I cut my sentences.
Honestly, this would be a really great drinking game. Like, every time they say me, I, and my, just take a shot. We'd be fucked by the end of this video.
This is a weird way, and I like Frankenstein them together. This is why I really stumble through my words. But you don't film a video attacking two people with tremendously large viewerships and fan bases, not knowing that they're going to come after you. I expected that, so I'm not going to feel sorry for myself with that. Of course, I'm not going to expect them not to have something to say about it. Of course they will.
Somebody said alcohol poison. No, we'd legitimately be dead.
And they have that right. I don't think saying, well, I'm small. I don't think I've seen some people saying, well, Spencer's a small creator. I hope Adam doesn't come after them. I don't think that's a fair thing to say. If I attack him publicly, he has the right to respond publicly. So I have no beef with him for responding.
Kai just said, my thing is they heard themselves say it back when edited and still didn't think that it was straight up racial prejudice, cliche, racist, AF. Like, are people around you saying that stuff too? Or, I mean, I don't know.
To me, but I'm not sorry for what I said. Adam, you need to take better responsibility with your channel. I stand by that. I believe in that. That being said, guys, my mistake with Paige, unfortunately now is really taking away from the support that I was seeking to send Jen's way. And that is my...
Oh my god, Jen, of course. That's who we should be empathetic for. Right. We're going back to glazing Jen. I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
And when I tell you, the first time I watched this, I didn't realize this, right? I was on the phone, I was speaking to my mum, and my mum sent me a message, and she's like, what is this Spence person talking about? You also have to remember, like, this is what I mean, like, when you do these kind of things that trickle down effect like that, like, you're not just, my mum's fucking furious. You think I'm mad? If you think that I'm mad, my mother is fucking furious, right? And she sat down and she was basically talking to me. She was like, they basically said that the sympathy is that you've garnered from being able to articulate why you were upset in the way that you did has taken away from the sympathy that they were hoping to garner for Jen. I have stolen Jen's sympathy by being racially abused. It's just the absolute freaking hoops that you have to jump through to make that statement even remotely sound fair at all. You literally denied me fucking nuance, the same nuance that you are giving to Jen, and then in turn use that against me when you don't even care to hear what I fucking say. And you're upset with me for taking away the sympathy that you wanted to give to Jen. I've hindered your objective. So even in a situation where they are at fault, I am still the perpetrator of that crime. Crazy. How do you fucking say that?
My mistake with Paige, unfortunately now is really taking away from the support that I was seeking to send Jen's way. And that is my fault, completely my fault. And I have so many regrets around the fact that I did that, not just to Paige, not just to me, but I've done that to Jen as well. And so in light of that, of course I will be removing the section of the video where
This makes me furious.
I tell Paige that she should have known better. But I am leaving the other sections of my critique towards Paige because I do stand by those. I do. I think that video was a shitty thing to do. That being said, I am sorry. I really am. I'm sorry to Paige for making you sit through a microaggression. I'm sorry to my audience for disappointing you. I'm sorry to Jen for taking away from the support that you were supposed to receive because of my fuck up.
Poor Jen.
And I'm sorry to myself. Give it a second.
Oh my god, poor Jen. I'm sorry to Paige for sitting through a microaggression, but I'm terribly upset about not doing what I thought I was doing by giving you the sympathy. Crazy work.
I'm sorry to a lot of people, and I'm sorry to myself for letting myself down in this way.
You are a sorry person. Oh, okay. So this is what I ended up posting. I owe Paige Christie an apology, and a much better one than I gave her in my last video. I guess. My last response was made partly out of panic, and I have since removed it and honored Paige's request that I remove all mention of her in my original video. I am also sorry for censoring my own fear of backlash over the obvious pain that Paige shared in her video. It wasn't fair to Paige, our audiences, or to anyone who saw their own experiences reflected in my mistreatment of Paige. I'm working on a new video that will give this subject the thought and gravity that it deserves. Paige, I am so sorry for hurting you and for my first apology video. I am sorry for being defensive and for not responding out of self-protection rather than confronting the fact that I hurt not only you but the women of color in our audiences. Ding, ding, ding. Because like I said previously, there was a situation where girlies on the Substack who were also women of color had a real fucking issue with how Spence dealt with the situation. It wasn't just me, guys. It wasn't just the backlash. It wasn't just the empathy is that the audience showed me instead of Jen. It was about the bottom line, the numbers, the channel, the views. Because if it wasn't, then why on earth would anybody else's opinion, regardless of their color or creed, affect or sway the way it is that you believe? It was because they misunderstood how many people were people of color within their audience. I'm sorry for being defensive and responded out of self-protection rather than confronting the fact that I hurt you, but not only you, but the women of color in our audiences who felt the pain alongside you in a way that I will never understand. My words don't exist in a vacuum. By singling you out and saying that, I was disappointed and I expected better. I weaponized the same language that people like me have used to stigmatize and stifle the self-expression of too many black women. You deserve better, and I'm embarrassed that my own self-involvement led me to suggest that the backlash was the only reason I wanted to apologize. I could offer an explanation of correction to the thought process behind that callous wording in my next video, but not an excuse. It was a disgusting thing to say and not one that I expect forgiveness for. I know you didn't ask for any sympathetic accommodation, but Paige, I am so sorry that I put this on your shoulders when you and your family are grieving. Not a non-factor. The family grief is a non-factor. The reason I brought up the grieving situation with my brother, by the way, was because they made out in that video that myself and Adam McIntyre were self-important influencers and self-important commentators because of our, behavior, mine just being a facial expression, but because of our behavior. And the reason that I brought that up is to say that, literally, I'm working my ass off making these videos because I have a financial thing that I need to deal with, right? And for you to sit down and call me self-important when I'm willing to work for the money it is that I'm making, whilst you will literally charge people, because at the end of that video is that they made, they were sat down talking about, oh, you have a Patreon, it's just for women only, you have to pay £5 to even be a part of the Patreon. Jen's there, she's going to be talking there, I'm there too, and I was sitting there like, £5? Not Patreon, sorry, a Discord server. I was like, £5 for a Discord server? I'm of the impression that unless it's a private Discord server that's specialized for Patreons or members, just like their own server, that the server should be free. It's free to open a server should be free. That access shouldn't be, I would never charge you guys to have access to me. That doesn't make any sense to me. So when you're sitting there and calling me self-important when I'm out here hustling for the coins it is that I have to make, whilst you are telling people that they have to pay you to interact with you, don't you dare call me self-important. That's the only reason that I brought that up. Me and my grieving is a complete and total non-factor to the words it is that came out of your mouth. Complete and total non-factor. And I don't like the idea that we're pushing it onto you were grieving and I should have really thought. No, it's not that I was grieving that you should have thought because what you said was wrong. And I know you said that I had no way to know, but the research necessary to learn this would have been a part of the same due diligence. I criticized others for neglecting. There wouldn't be a good time to hit somebody with a racist microaggression, but I'm so sorry to burden you with even more pain right now. That is more heartbreak than any person should have to endure. I understand why many of you may not be willing to hear about another attempt at an apology, but after spending this weekend sitting with the hurt is that I've caused, it still feels important that I make it regardless. Thank you, and I am so sorry. So that was what they ended up posting on their profile. Okay, so let me read you what it is that I got in my DMs. Apparently there's a secondary apology to this apology that I think I may have missed. And this secondary apology basically was I'm going to reach out to Paige privately to apologize, and that basically that they were essentially not going to make this new apology video, which by the way, it's done. We really don't need to hear from you anymore, right? But they weren't going to make the second apology because a lot of people just felt like it was just dragging it and it was only going to cause more hurt for me. I just think it was just so done already. Let me find a screenshot because I did screenshot it of what it is.
I think they've had enough chances to apologize and they keep falling through.
They said to me in my DMs. So this is what they said, right? Hi Paige, I made a public post and I just wanted to also reach out personally to apologize. I'm not expecting a response, but I feel terrible. I was not aware of your grief. You shouldn't have had to be put in this position in the first place, but I appreciate you being willing to open up about the pain that I've caused you and holding me to task for mistreating you. I wish you and your family healing. I hope that I can make up for at least some of the hurts I sent your way. At least make it known that I genuinely do see and understand this. I deserve what came my way. Take care of yourself, as I'm sure you are. So that is the last interaction. Did I respond to that message? I sure as fuck did not. The reason I didn't respond is because there were so many, I promise you, and I know I'm going to start people going, no, you weren't. But I promise you there were so many opportunities to set this right. This should have been the first form of protocol from the very beginning. Reach out and apologize, and I probably would have just been like, okay, squash. In the same way that I was to Jen. Am I going to be friends with you? Are we going to be okay? Are we going to be Gucci? Are we going to be pen pals? Absolutely not. But I would have squashed it because at least it was handled appropriately. But in every capacity, from the comment it is that you left under your original video telling people that you stand by what you said and you still think that what I did was bad, to making your apology video where you literally focus entirely on yourself and Jen's feelings and centering yourselves in that situation rather than actually taking the focus and taking the time to take a look at what it is that people are saying, that this is extremely harmful rhetoric that you are perpetuating against Paige, and it's completely and totally unfair to not just Paige but black women in general, right? And stop using black women's trauma and the harm it is that the patriarchal society does to us as your speaking point. If you don't get to lower the moral threshold by using my life experiences or the lived experiences of black women to your benefit. That is some of the most wild and outrageous things it is that I've ever seen. But if you'd handled it appropriately from the comment section, from the video, from the post that you made, from the second video that you were apparently going to make, and now the DM messages is that you sent me, it's too much. You had way too many opportunities to set this right and you didn't. Therefore, at this point, per your own advice, I think it was about your bottom line. I think it was about your social standing on social media. I think it was about how you are perceived within women.
I think it was about Jen, too.
Only spaces and how you harmed the demographic of people, of women, by attempting to take a jab at me in your ultimate disappointment. And I think that this is just something to reflect on. Do I think that they can come back and bounce back? Of course, I don't think that this is the end for this person and their content and the way it is that they want to. If anything, what I'm expecting is after all the heat's died down in a couple of months' time, they're going to come back and try and redeem themselves, just like we've seen so many times before. So it just is what it is. What I will say is the support that I got really did show me that I'm loved, I'm cared for, that people care about my feelings. And one of the things that, I know, just not to get personal, but I am going to get personal, one of the things that really made me fall in love with my husband was the fact that he was one of the few people on planet Earth to treat me as gently as I felt that I should be treated. I think because I am tall, I'm 5'9", and I am a larger woman, and I'm a woman with a voice, I am very expressionate, I'm very vocal, I'm very deeply connected to my culture, I'm very pro-black. Because I have so many thoughts and feelings, and I'm a woman who will not shut up, no matter how many times people tell me to shut up, I think that people see me as strong all the time, right? So I saw a couple of comments in my video saying, that last part of you crying, I was like, I don't fucking cry, bro. I don't cry, I don't do it, I hate doing it. I feel weak when I cry. I perceive crying not as a way to let out emotions. I perceive crying as a weakness. I perceive crying as not as a way to let out emotions, but that I'm allowing myself to be vulnerable. And when I'm vulnerable, I'm terrified of people attacking me in my vulnerability because it hurts deeper. And in that moment, I was just in the throes of having to be strong. And then when I thought the camera was off, I wasn't. Girl, I was not strong. And this is the perceived strongness that I have to show the world as a form of protection. I have to stay strong so that the girls can't see me sweat, for real. They can't see me sweat, they can't see me get upset, they can't see me getting my feelings because it's going to be used against you. And to have allowed myself in the first place to be that vulnerable and for it to be perceived with love, wasn't expecting it. Wasn't expecting it. Terrible.
And the first time I watched this, truthfully, again, I got emotional because I completely understand that feeling. And it shouldn't be that way, but
to post that video thinking all I'm going to do is get dragged for, oh, you're making a mountain out of a molehill. Why are you making it about you? That was literally all I was thinking that the perception was going to be. But you guys wowed me in a way that I wasn't expecting. And I think that should I tell you what? I think that the things that I need to unpack, even with a majority white audience, that a lot of allyship is there. I actually thought there was less. I'm so for real. I actually thought there was less. I didn't think that y'all were fucking with me like that for real. But no, there is this allyship here. You guys have totally changed my perspective of how to view, in fact, like a demographic that so frequently, gets the raw end of the stick when negative or bad apples within that group. You know what I mean? And I think there's a lot of white people who possess like a level of white guilt for not just for like the past and history and stuff like that, but also just like for what they see other people of their demographic doing. But it wasn't like shrouded in white guilt. It was just, no, you were wrong. Paige deserves care. Paige deserves to be treated gently. Paige deserves to be handled with the same care that you were attempting to care. And I didn't feel it. Jesus Christ, thank you so much, guys. Genuinely. But I didn't feel it before. I wasn't aware of it, and I see it, and I recognize it, and I thank you. And as far as I'm concerned, this story's done. It is what it is. This story's done. But with that being said, I'm done with this conversation. Spence, all I want for you to do is just be by yourself, heal, get better, and I'm sure you will come back. And when you do, if you choose to apologize, to be great. If you don't, I'm also fine. If you want to just move on from this point forward, I'm totally fine with it. You've acknowledged it. That's where I'm at. What we're going to do, keep beating down a dead horse. We're not going to do that. So whatever happens in the future, I don't wish any harm. I don't wish any hate. And what I will say is I was going through Spence's comments looking for the fuck you, go kill yourself kind of bullshit that I know that people can go on with when there's like a lot of people flocking to a video, and I did not see that in the comment section. So I also want to thank you guys for handling yourself with very demure, very mindfully in those comment sections, stating what your piece was, having that criticism for that person, but also not making it so personal to a point that it would make somebody, in a different or more warped mental perception. I appreciate that you guys didn't do that. It really speaks volumes of the community it is that I've created over the years, and I'm proud of that, and I'm proud of us. With that being said, I just want to say a massive thank you to every single one of you who have donated and stuff. It's been a very overwhelming today. You guys have done so much, and I just really truly appreciate it.
honestly, I love Paige. She is such a good person. She is a good commentator, and I think that she handles herself with grace. I'm at least glad that with this entire situation, she was able to realize how much people truly rally around her and how much support she has, because she's absolutely just, based on what I can tell, just a great human being all around. And she deserves a lot more than what she's been through. And honestly, continue sending her some love, please. I think that more than anything, it's great for her to know that we do support her and we are rallying behind her. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I love you, Paige. I don't think you're ever gonna watch my videos again, but I really appreciate that she did watch my last one. And yeah, she's great, and please continue sending her some love. She deserves it. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you, guys.
Also, if you guys aren't...
Oh, my hair is killing me. Okay, so I was not expecting to watch this video, but after hearing Paige talk, I actually do want to rewatch this.
Hi
guys, we're gonna go ahead and watch Adam McIntyre's reaction to the Spence fourth apology attempt. Really, I don't understand why we need an apology to an apology to an apology, but apparently we do, because the first one just wasn't right. Neither was the second one, and the third time wasn't a charm. So here we are. So yeah, let's see what he has to say.
Many apologies have we gone through within the last 4 days? Within the last 4 days. Hello everyone. We currently have another apology from Spence. Spence, who deleted their channel and walked from the internet after doubling down multiple times and then making a terrible apology that was called apologizing for my racism, and then just changed to apologizing. We have a new apology, and I was seeing this post about it here on the r/the Adam McIntyre. Spence has put out an apology on Substack. Let's see the chatter here. Commenting has been turned off for this post. Great start. Classic. They say their personal involvement, but what was that? That came out of nowhere. How are you personally involved? Also insane, that part about being a hypocrite and judging Adam for...
That's what I'm saying. Like, the things that they're saying and how they keep glazing Jen, like, are they personally involved with Jen? Like, is there something going on? Like, why? Who cares about Jen? Like, truthfully, like, why are we tearing everybody else apart to put Jen up?
For shit that they did. They couldn't be bothered to say themselves in their video. They had to put a little text note. Wow. Oh, the full transcript. You guys aren't playing. Not my apology to accept, and also no apology for the treatment of Adam. Okay, great, again. But this is an improvement for sure. Okay, that's good. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. How many apologies is this night? Is this our... If we include the pinned comment, we have the pinned comment, we have the Instagram story, I think we have another Instagram story, we have a YouTube video, and now we have a... This may be the 4th or 5th apology that the Spence is doing on the same goddamn thing, so I am so happy that there is some sort of fucking improvement here. And I've been told that I don't get brought up on this, of course, because for some reason the Sixth Sense has this weird fixation on me. I like don't know what I've done to them at all. But I hope at least the Paige situation is dealt with a little bit more fucking class. They still didn't apologize for misinterpreting Paige's facial expression, arguably what folks are most upset with. Also, changing the video from apologizing for racism to just apologizing, then deleting and supporting Jen when they've made concerning transphobic and ableist comments. They are still going on about the apology in the wrong way, and it's pretty much the same apology as before. Okay, let's see. An apology posted on a Substack, by the way, which I just think is so chic. I haven't seen an apology posted on Substack ever, like an apology video posted on it. Okay, there's no description with it. The comments have been turned off for this post. Okay, great. What's Substack? It's kind of like place for like journalists.
We're off to a great start. No comment.
They want this hidden. I'm like, why do you make it then? Why is this your fourth apology? Which one is the truth?
I was originally going to upload this apology as a final video on my channel before leaving YouTube. However, upon posting a similar apology in my community tab meant to express my understanding ahead of this video.
Another apology? There was another one I missed? No, there was another one I missed. Oh, you can't be serious. There cannot possibly be another one.
I saw people expressing that another video apology would cause more harm to Paige. After thinking on it, I thought that deleting my channel would be an act of solidarity with that request.
Okay.
What I didn't realize was that deleting my channel would give the impression that I meant to recant my apology and bury the evidence, and that in itself causes harm and invalidation. I don't know what to do except to film the apology that I had meant to film so that it can exist as evidence and accountability of what I've done. You'll notice that I'm reading from a script. That's because when I speak while trying to think of what to say
This is a script? People love a script, don't they? Love a script.
next.
You're back! She's right here as always. Oh my gosh! Hi guys. Thank you so much for saying... No guys, truthfully, like, thank you for 500 subs. I appreciate it. I can't believe you noticed. Thank you. And yes, this is Astrid. She is typically here with me while I'm on live. So yeah, if you ever want to see her, just let me know.
I default to a body language that comes across as douchey and smug. Reading from a script is an effort to keep my body language in line with the respect that I want to show. But these words are my own, and they come from the heart. On August 7th, I uploaded a video that was a departure from my usual content. My level of investment in the story made me feel defensive when...
Level of investment? I did not know who you were before. I don't understand what level of investment means about Dent. Like, I honestly don't understand what it means.
When I began seeing commentary from other creators on the topic, and when I tried to give what I thought was valid criticism, I fucked up. Instead of expressing my criticism in a generalized, thoughtful, and respectful way, I singled out Paige Christie and spoke to her with anger and disrespect. I said that I was disappointed in her. I said that I expected better from her, and I said that she, of all people, should have known better. That was a disgusting way to speak to someone. Black women are disproportionately singled out, scrutinized, tone policed, and held to a higher moral standard, and Paige was simply one of many commentary creators reacting to a mainstream story.
But my level of involvement made me want to be racist.
Yet I chose to direct an outsized amount of my anger specifically towards her. The wording, of all people, came from the fact that I had been a fan of Paige's and felt that her opinion on the situation differed from what I would have expected it to be.
I think that says a lot. I did this because her opinion was different than what I thought her opinion would be.
She's a cute puppy, but she is sassy. I mean, maybe she's like her mama. I don't know.
Then maybe you don't know her. A lot of this really has given me from them is like ex-fan who still wants to show that level of engagement, but does it in like a hate form.
And that is where my mistake exists to begin with. Having any expectation of what Paige was and was not allowed to do or say was controlling, condescending, and infantilizing. I never should have included her in my video. Paige already experiences scrutiny, backlash, and targeted aggression. My words did not exist in the vacuum of my video. By singling her out and telling her that I was disappointed in her, that I expected better from her, and that she of all people should have known better, I placed myself in the position of morally disciplining a black woman. I spoke to her as if I had the authority to chastise her, as though I were her moral superior. Paige said that I spoke to her like...
The way that you're talking right now is... This script is crazy. This script is crazy.
The dog. When I first heard that, I felt defensive, but after sitting with it, I understood what she meant.
Take a moment. Take it in. You're gonna want to sit down for this.
Didn't simply disagree with her content. I spoke to her with contempt and moral judgment.
Again, I love the vocal stems.
I understand why that hurt her, as well as the black women who watched it happen and felt hurt alongside her. Paige, I am so sorry. I'm sorry for singling you out. I'm sorry for speaking to you with contempt. I'm sorry for chastising you, as though I considered myself your moral superior. And I'm...
Oh my god. This speaks like a Reddit mod. Well, I mean, you might be. Shout out to all the Reddit mods. But you know that like that like meme of like what is it like the is it like edgelords talk or whatever? Chastise me. I'm moral superior. Like Cartman core.
I'm so sorry for adding...
Adam is so unserious, but at this point, like, what is this? Fourth apology? What? This isn't unserious.
to the endless scrutiny and microaggressions that you are subjected to constantly as a black woman, particularly in online spaces, where the scrutiny that you face is disproportionate to the scrutiny of your peers. You deserve better from me. There are aspects of the pain that I caused that I will never understand. What I understand now is that Paige never should have been included in my video at all, and that by putting this on her shoulders when she and her family are grieving, I neglected part of the same research due diligence that I criticized others for neglecting.
Who's others? Who's others? Who's others? LOL. Come on, what are you apologizing for? What are you apologizing for? You're not being clear. You're not being clear. But I thought you had a problem with that.
In my video. Her graciousness in saying that I had no way of knowing of her grief was very kind, and there would never be a good time to hit someone with a racist microaggression. But I'm horrified that my complete negligence caused me to do it in a moment of so much pain and tenderness. While I want to say that I should have done more research to know of your grief, I actually should have done the right thing.
Yes, I want to say that this isn't, I mean, there's never a right time to do this. And yes, I feel for Paige for going through this at this time. But either way, it was a wrong thing for you to do. And I mean, that is straight from Paige's point of view as well. We just watched her video. She mentioned that as well. And she specifically said that she doesn't want that to be brought up. So honestly, like, are you actually listening to any word that Paige is saying and responding to you? Because it seems like, again, you're not really listening to what she's asking of you.
And left you out of my video completely. I'm so ashamed that this is what I've done.
Why did you do it? Because you have personal emotional involvement? Is that what you said?
I'm also ashamed of my first apology, which I have renewed not...
The world that we live in where people are apologizing for an apology video. We've got to be a little bit more serious. I apologize for my first apology video. We are so screwed.
in an attempt to run from the harm I have caused, but in an effort not to
Which one was the first one? I forget. They're all melting together.
cause further harm. That response came partly from panic and from a selfish desire for self-preservation. I centered my own fear of backlash and consequence instead of focusing on hearing and understanding Paige's pain. At one point in the video, I say, would I have apologized if I hadn't received so much backlash? I don't know that I would have. I probably would not have. At the time, I could imagine people saying that my apology was insincere because it came after significant backlash. I stupidly thought that if I assigned the accusation to myself, it might prevent people from making it to begin with and in some way reinforce my sincerity. Yet again, doing that came from a place of self-centeredness and from thinking about myself. I never should have feared backlash, which was deserved. It was a disgusting thing to say, and I'm so sorry. I also diluted the apology by apologizing to Paige, as well as to Jen and to the audience. Paige was telling me that I had hurt her, and I responded by making...
I can't believe this loser who attacked me unlike anyone has personally attacked me before in a video hasn't mentioned me once. Pfft. Oh my god. What is your problem with me? That's so crazy. No, it's like you signed an MDN, or I was gonna say, you signed an MDMA, the Madonna album. Or the MDNA, Madonna album. Like, NDA, you can no longer mention my name. It's so strange. It really is so strange. It really is so strange. MDNA is Madonna's album from 2012 where she released an EDM album, and it is fucking insane. It's literally fucking insane. I love it though. It's insane though.
Conversation about everyone but her. At the time that I made that first apology, I had not yet fully sat with what I had done.
You're gonna want to take a moment and take it in.
Now it's hard to believe that I would suddenly feel so much remorse after initially doubling down and focusing on myself. But I hope that
I love when someone focuses on themselves within 24 hours. I spent the last 24 hours really focusing on myself.
making this apology in the absence of my channel can show that I genuinely have seen and understood and that I truly feel remorse and shame. I just needed to take a day to process what was happening, and
Crazy sense. I just need to take a day. Not a month, not 3 months, not a year, not 5 years. I just need to take a day. You cannot make this up. I just need a day. I just need to take a moment. In Korea. In Santorini, Greece.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that my vocal stems are horrible. Otherwise, you guys would be hearing them and you would be sick of me too. But I mean, my family hears it all the time and they're sick of me already. So I think that's enough.
He reacted and showed the worst side of me. There are things that I should apologize for that I may have not included. If that happens, please don't interpret the omission as me believing that those things were acceptable. It should say a lot that I've done so much harm that I'm not able to...
I need to take a moment and a blinker. Blinker check. If you're smoking, now is your time to take a hit. If you're drinking, now is your time to take a sip. And again, if you're sober, take a big breath of fresh air.
to even be sure that I've addressed
the first time I watched this, I'm not gonna lie, I had a little drinky drink, and when he said this, I had to listen, you know, like a mucker, I had to abide by Mama Mucker.
all of it. Please believe me when I say
Adam, I can't do this again.
that there's been no intentional omission. There's nothing that I'm trying to stand my ground on. I want to address my Discord server, which has received some attention. Transgender men have felt hurt by the fact that my sapphic, no men allowed Discord server allows transgender men to enter it, and I wanted to offer an explanation and an apology.
My no man discourse. Okay, so then you just hate men. So I'm like, is that where your issue really lies with me? That you just like hate men? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? That's so strange to say in all of this context. You're no man, you hate men. Is that?
That's what I keep saying, like, weird behavior, weird thing to say, all around, just, what a strange thing to say, like, truthfully.
So now we're just saying shit. No, literally. So I'm like, damn, you're weird. You are very weird. Very, very, very weird.
That server was not initially meant to be a women's server. It was created out of a frustration that I heard echoed within LGBTQ spaces of the fact that all
Our pioneer. Our pioneer, everyone.
conversations in queer spaces seem to disproportionately focus on the harm caused by cisgender men. Many felt that they had a desire to engage with other aspects of their queerness,
What the hell did I do?
if even just for a few hours in the week. So I created a Discord server that was meant for queer identities that are vulnerable to misogyny, where conversations about cisgender men are not allowed. Over time, the population of the
What? Oh my god, it's so strange.
server became entirely sapphic women, so I began using the words sapphic women's Discord server to describe the community present within it. Transgender men within my audience had reached out to me to ask if they would still be allowed to join the server. Many of them had lived as lesbians for their entire lives and had only recently started their transitions. Upon starting their transitions, they had lost the lesbian communities they had been a part of for their entire lives, but they didn't yet feel welcomed or understood within male communities. They felt stuck in an in-between space where they felt alone.
Wait, what?
I love how you can tell Adam is trying to understand, but he's just more confused the more that they keep talking, and frankly, I am right there with you. I'm right there with you.
What the fuck is the relevance of this again? I literally like forgot what the relevance was. What were we talking about again?
They just talk. Like, they're just talking to talk and saying words. I kid you not, every single video that I've seen them talk, trying to get to whatever point it is, they're just talking. I don't know what the point is.
I feel like I've been so distracted. What was the original point again? Wait, actually, what was the original point again? The Discord. Oh, I'm so confused. You just confused the hell out of me.
I had learned about the ways in which lesbian communities of the past offered respite to transgender men throughout history, and felt that turning transgender men away would go against the spirit of queer alliance. I never expected this to cause so much harm to the trans men coming across my server, and for that, I want to sincerely, very genuinely apologize.
What? There are things I forgot to mention at the time of creating this video. I'm sorry for being a hypocrite and not doing the necessary research. I would say that I should have done better research, but I never should have considered myself to have the moral, ethical, and academic standing to have made such a video. That video should not have been made. What the hell?
Paige, I'm once again so genuinely very sorry. I really am. Thank you for allowing me the gift of the platform. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Adam has nothing else to say, but what the hell?
I'm sorry that I've used it to cause so much harm.
Oh my. Don't worry, Adam, they'll get it on their 6th time. I believe it. Oh my god. Right, whatever. Someone just commented, call their Uber. Honestly,
They want to be aligning with their name. Spence, sixth apology, I guess? I don't know.
like that is just so... It's just this little mean art. It's so
How
strange. I like...
chic.
Hey, what you said, Paige. It's for Paige to accept. Apologies isn't for anyone else. I can't believe how you have this, like, anti-man thing, and then this, like, clear, fixated hate on me. I don't understand it. It's very strange. I hope we do not get another apology, because we do not need another apology. We do not need... Spence, we
I want to be chic too. Yes.
do not need another one. We're good. You know, there may be things we liked in it, things we didn't like. That's great. All right, we'll leave it here. All right. All right. Yes. Give it up. Give it up for Spence, everyone. Give us a twirl. Yes. All right. Okay. We get it. The 4th apology video. We love this one. We love it. I love this one. Here, we're good for now. We love this one. We love it. This is the one. That's why I'm like, I feel like we need to fucking do it now, because it's like these people are just so craving of fucking attention. We love this one. You could never do better than this one. And on a high, you know, this is great. So anyways, YouTube people, let me know your thoughts on that. Let's see, actually, hold on, before I leave, someone has uploaded it onto the Reddit. Let's see what the response is.
That's hilarious. Paige and Adam both are like, don't worry about it. We don't need any more apologies. We're good.
All right, okay. Can we wrap this up already for real? My immediate reaction on August 7th. Oh my god, it's been a week of this shit already. I must have missed a bit. What was their level of investment in this story? What part were they involved in? Who are you? You mean Adam throughout the entire video. This is almost annoying because they're just apologizing for the 3rd time and still haven't addressed Adam or Jen's ableism. How is deleting your channel an act of solidarity?
Again, we're glazing Jen, but we're neglecting to talk about everything that Jen is doing online.
The reading is sending me, sorry. That's funny. When will this stop? Good lord, pack it up. God, I feel kind of bad for them. Is that bad? Mission accomplished for them then. Mostly in a, no, they're so pathetic. Oh, oh my. So, yeah, let's hope this is the final apology. I don't know what else to say other than that. Enjoy your friendship with Jen. Don't really know what to say other than that. Well, YouTube people, I hope you're all doing very well. We will see you very soon, and goodbye.
I love it. He's so unserious. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Again, I do want to say thank you so much for 500 subs. I really appreciate it. I genuinely cannot believe how much people are being so supportive. It's been just crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, I really did not want to make this channel like just Adam McIntyre centered, so I'm trying to do more content beyond that, but it's just been so fun and great to see how the muckers really enjoy to watch Adam's videos over and over again, because I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. So if you guys are enjoying it, hey, like I've mentioned before, whether I'm on live recording watching these videos or not, I'm gonna watch them regardless. So if you guys are enjoying it and we want to continue the discourse and commenting back and forth and just talking about the videos, I'm more than happy to make this a mucker YouTube channel at this point, because he's so funny and I love it. I truly do. But yeah, again, thank you so much for 500 subs, and yeah, see you on the next one. Hello from the other side.
So, if you're watching on YouTube, we are currently...
Okay. I always have to double check. Just got to double check. Let's go live on YouTube really quickly. Boom, 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 boom. Oops, did I not say done? Darn it. Alrighty. Hi guys, welcome back. I just want to say that I cannot believe the amount of just love and comments and just all around just people reaching out and saying they've been loving my videos. It has been truly just amazing to see everybody comment, give honestly like their own opinions and their own thoughts on each and every single one of the videos I put out. So truthfully, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I've been loving it so much. I did see somebody comment and say that there's a humming sound. Unfortunately, there's a server right next to me. There's nothing I can do about that. They did suggest for me to do like background music, so I am all for that. If anybody has any suggestions of like copyright-free background music that I should include in the background, just let me know, and I would be happy to add that in. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Other than that, I now have Adam on here, and I have been loving all the Adam McIntyre commentary, but before we get to him and his video about Dent, I first want to go through the video that Paige posted recently about the whole Spence situation. She finally responded to the apology that the Spence had made, and I've already watched this video. I think that it is a really great video. As always, she always is able to articulate herself very well. And yeah, without further ado, let's see what she has to say. Let me see. Sorry, guys.
I'm saying, just be clear, I am completely and totally overwhelmed by the
What? Guys, you saw this fucking... Jesus Christ, man. We've been going ham.